Hey, it's Jordan from Think. We've got a great property to show you today. It's in mid-renovation and you're going to find this video really interesting. We're here on site with our friend Jordan and he's going to show us what he's doing on his property right now. Now, our friend Jordan was looking to buy a property with both rental and laneway potential. We love that model because you can take it one step at a time, and that's exactly what he's doing. We found a property here in Bloordale Village, which is extremely rentable, close to amenities. We've got Bloor and Lansdowne right here, lots of cafes, subway, etc. So it's a very, very rentable area. We're able to find this property not only with laneway, but it was already designated a duplex. So he's doing some light renovation to the main house, and then he's going to start working on the laneway. We were able to get it for a terrific deal for him. Not only that, but we put in conditions on the offer so that we were able to bring in our building people and inspect the property beforehand, before we're actually able to close on the deal, which is terrific. Hey, it's Jordan from Think, and here we are in Bloordale Village with our good friend Jordan, mid-reno. I think you said about 3 weeks into this renovation. Normally what we do is we do a before we get to this, and then an after, then a mid, then an after. Jordan was so excited to get the ball rolling. He started swinging the hammers before we got in. But nonetheless, actually, I love seeing it mid-reno. You see the progress, and you start to see all the light in here, which is terrific. Really, what I wanted to do today is just help you walk us through your process.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know the process to me actually starts before you start swinging the hammers, and that's at the sales process, where we're able to come in before you bought this property in Bloordale, and bring in some people to help you take a look at it, try to get a feel for what was maybe behind the walls. Mm-hmm. But maybe, take it from there.
Absolutely. I think one of the best parts of this entire project was working with Paul and actually selecting the right property to do something that has a good ROI, has potential in the back, and maybe just, if it's not right now, but in a 5-year plan of everything being developed. So starting to select the right.
This is, people always ask me what's the new up and coming area, and you were on top of it. Bloordale Village is an up and coming area. It used to be a little bit rough, and now all the cafes, the bars, all those signs that it is the new place to be are here. One of my favorite beer establishments happens to be in the area.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, so that was, I'm sure, part of the equation?
Yeah, for sure. I had a couple of properties in the area already, a little closer to the junction, and about 4 years in, I've seen this entire neighborhood transform. And you have great access with the subways going into downtown, and really high potential here. Right.
So we got it for a great deal. We did it with an inspection, so we brought in some people beforehand, which is helpful. It gives you a little bit of comfort, hopefully knowing what you're up against.
Yeah, and you know what? It's just, as I mentioned before, with a lot of these rentals doing myself, just the slight assurance, if there was a major structural issue, that could be most likely seen at that time. And also just kind of getting an idea of the house and what I'm gonna have to start preparing for before I start taking down the walls.
I should say you're not a rookie at this, but this is your biggest project.
This is the biggest one so far.
Right. But it follows a model, I think, that we're really encouraging people to look at, and that is buying a rental property, doing what you need to do it, get your cash flow going, and then, of course, look at the backyard where we are looking at this property has laneway potential. And that's kind of, for me, it's the cherry on the cake. And, and talk about your process and your thinking there.
Which is exactly right. It kind of a phase 1, phase 2 strategy. So as this starts to redevelop, getting renters in on the floors, in the background, start going for the permits, start getting everything up and ready. So once it gets to that phase, we could start.
So as you know, we're very much in the laneway business. We work with some specialists in that area. I think Paul brought in one of our architects that specializes in laneway. I'm not sure if they're doing the full project with you, but certainly they're helping with permits, giving you ideas.
Absolutely.
Maybe taking some of the stress out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's while I could concentrate on this part now, the
Yeah.
phase 1, the phase 2 on the background of this is getting the permits and actually just the ability to kind of walk me through that process of this is how this could come to
Yeah.
fruition
Yeah.
is a conversation, but one of the most important conversations that I've had just so I could kind of foresee how this project would
Right.
go.
It's these, when you're doing something new, even somebody that's a little more seasoned like yourself, you're walking into the unknown.
Yes.
And so having somebody to help you with the, those fears who have been there, built them, run into the problems, done the, dealt with the city on these issues, very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the first rodeo for me, but certainly not
Right.
the first rodeo for these guys. So.
Right, right. So that's a really important thing that we're adding value at Think, is that we're trying to be there along the way, all the way from the buy, giving you some ideas. I think even you talked about, how you're restructuring your apartment units.
Yes.
And how we can maximize rent here. The first thing I walked up here and you had blown out that wall. Paul was against it, you were for it. I love it, by the way,
okay,
so we'll have that conversation there. But bringing light into the rooms, and then you went a unit, room here, bedroom here,
Yes.
bedroom there.
Yeah.
I love it because you still have a 2-bedroom, you're going to maximize your rents, but this area is light and bright, and I think it's great that you've done that. So, but also, let's face it, when it comes to these projects, you've got what you really want, the gold, and then you've got the, the silver and bronze, and it also, that all comes into
And you
account.
kind of start adapting.
Right,
yes.
right.
And that was a very interesting process. You know,
Yeah.
when we first looked at this house, right? Now you make the dream list.
Yeah.
I think I started in that planning phase just at home of trying to set up the design, get the rough measurements. So we came in for one of our inspections, took all the measurements, and then I came home, started drawing and thinking about layout. Came back here with Paul a couple of times, couple of contractors, started to see the costs, and then kind of said, okay, how can we maximize the ROI? We still need to change this. We still have to, Bloordale still competes with condos. So I still want that brightness. I still want that look. But like, where's that perfect middle?
Right.
Honestly, I
You don't want to get
I was calling Paul like at 9 at night, kind of be like, Paul, what do you think about this?
Paul's so excited about stuff.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me. You can do that to Paul. By the way,
exactly.
Because he's like that at 7 in the morning about it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it was an interesting process, though. I think I started from the top, started the process, the cost, and then slowly worked the way down of saying these are the must-haves, these are going to be a nice-to-have. And once you open this up, then you say, that's where the stack is for plumbing. So there's only so many places to put a bathroom, and then you as long as you have a little bit of flexibility, it's all part of the process.
Great. So we should say that Jordan, although we had some of our contractor people in, I think as well maybe run into the odd situation where, do I take out this beam? Is the house going to fall down?
Yes.
We've brought in our people to help you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you are sort of being a GC a bit yourself on the project. So you've kind of got us in the background on the support side, but you're very much hands-on.
And I wanted to say that's probably one of the biggest helps. One, trying to find a contractor in Toronto, especially just during this time period, near to impossible. So getting people that you've used and trusted, and
there is
me being a novice, there's a like I'm on the shoulders of trying to get the right people in, which would allow me to do this. And again, if I'm taking down a wall and suddenly I'm like, you know what, I think this is where my experience ends. I always try to do that reach out call and see if you guys know.
The benefit that we have is that having a number of projects, we have some scale, and quite frankly, plumbers, electricians return our calls.
Yes.
And today that's not so easy to do.
That's nearly impossible.
And they show up. I just had one on another project yesterday. We brought in our people. So even if you're not using our people, they're also there as a tool to help guide you as well. So I guess what we're getting at is from the beginning to end. Now this is going to be a buy and hold for you, or what is your strategy?
Yeah, this is going to be a buy and hold.
Right. So we're going to be selling this maybe way down the road, but perhaps more importantly, I think with your strategy is you're going to be helping with refinancing, getting equity out, and
Yes.
for the next project, maybe down the road.
Yes.
After, I mean, you do
Yep.
these every couple of years, 2-3
Yep.
years. So,
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So for you, it's part of what you're doing, but you're not flipping houses every 3 months. you know?
Exactly.
So
No,
it's
this is a
you still got a
long
job.
term. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're still got to show up.
This is the night job. This is
Right. And well, it's very, very impressive.
Yeah.
So thanks for having
Yeah,
us
thank
out.
you,
And it's going to be an amazing project. And I can't wait to start working on that laneway.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be really, really neat. How many feet do you think you're going to put in there?
It's probably going to be the whole size, 13.5 across by about.
Yeah, we should
probably
say
about 25.
we're going to use the existing footprint
Yes.
if we can on the garage,
Yeah,
like we
yeah,
have
and the
cer-
height.
and the height. And so we're going to take advantage of that to save some costs there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Hey, Jordan, thank you so much for having us out to your project. I know you're really, really busy, but I love coming out mid-project. We're going to come hopefully in a couple of months.
Absolutely, when it's done.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to see it all then for the big reveal for everybody. But thanks for having me out. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. For more content like this, please hit the subscribe button or leave us a message down below. Other than that, I hope to see you soon. Thanks very much.